Hey everybody, Scott here. All right, so you got your Nikon ZF updated to firmware 2.0. You ran over to my YouTube channel and you watched my primer on all the new features and how to set them up on your camera. You didn't do that? Well, if you didn't, the link's down here. You should go do that first. That way I walk through everything so you're up to speed on what we're talking about. And today, specifically, we are walking through what all the new cloud features are that the ZF now supports. Nikon calls this suite Nikon Imaging Cloud, but that encompasses several different things. So let's jump right into it. And I'm going to show you how to get it set up on your camera because even though I'm a pretty tech savvy guy, I was struggling to work through this on my own. I don't want you to have to do that. Let's go. The first feature in Nikon Imaging Cloud you should know about are these new cloud picture controls. Now, your camera comes with a bunch of picture controls by default. You're probably already used to these. There's some monochrome ones, there's some older retro looking ones, and then there's a variety of just, basic presets like landscape, vivid, portrait, etc. What this is doing is allowing Nikon creators to partner with Nikon. They're going and they're creating their own picture styles to basically evoke a mood or match an aesthetic. And you can go online, you can look at these, you can see how they've changed the parameters of that picture control, and then you can download up to 9 of these cloud picture controls directly to your camera. You don't need to do this rigmarole anymore of copying files to an SD card from the Nikon PC website and then uploading it into your camera into a custom bank. This is all done fairly seamlessly across a Wi-Fi connection because your camera is now linked to your Nikon account. And when you go and you pick one of these picture controls from your Nikon account, it just comes right over to your camera. So again, you can have up to 9 of these, and they are swappable. If you decide you don't want one, you can replace that slot with another one. And at any given point, you're adding 9 extra picture controls on top of all of the other picture controls that your camera already comes with. You can also use NX Studio to create your own picture controls. Now, you've been able to do this for a while, but there is a new type of picture control called Flexible, and it has way more options than just the on-camera customizations that we've been able to make up until now. So within NX Studio, you can import a RAW, you can get it to look just like you like it, or you can run those adjustments across multiple RAWs just to make sure that it's going to give you the look that you want in multiple lighting situations. And then you can export that flexible picture control and you can get it on your ZF that way as well. You can also share these with friends just by sending them the file, and then they can throw it on their SD card and upload it to their camera. Pretty cool. Another new feature is automatic image uploading. And what's really cool about this is you can link your camera to third-party file hosting in the cloud like Dropbox or OneDrive or Google. Any of those typical big name third-party file repositories, your camera can get linked to, and it can dump full resolution images straight into the folders that you choose and set up on your own third-party hosting solution. So this would be excellent if you're, say, in the field and you don't want to take a laptop with you. At the end of the day, you come back to a coffee shop, a hotel, you get your camera connected to Wi-Fi, and you get your photos from the day automatically pushed, and now you've got an online cloud backup in addition to whatever backups you may have on your SD card. Worst case scenario, you drop your camera in a river, it gets stolen, you at least have yesterday's files up into the cloud, and you don't have to worry about that. And you can go grab those from the cloud when you get back home, or you can do it from your mobile app if you need to get those photos on your phone. So it gives you a lot more flexibility without having to have a card reader, without having to have a laptop with you, and makes the process of getting your files to a cloud backup a little more seamless than it's ever been. Nikon also has this new product called Nikon Image Space, which is a free cloud repository for your files. They will keep your files for a rolling 30 days, but the caveat there is they are only uploading the 2 megapixel version of your file, not the full resolution. So in my opinion, if you're going to set this up, you should probably set it up against a third-party service. That way you get full resolution backups to the cloud. But just to let you know, Nikon is offering this service, and if you just need a small social media resolution type photo backed up, this could work just great for you, and you don't have to pay for a third-party backup solution. The third feature that Nikon is touting are firmware updates. Now, we've been able to do this before with the SnapBridge app, and that's a pretty seamless process. But now the camera will basically always be checking against the internet to see if there are any firmware updates when it's on Wi-Fi, and you'll be notified directly on your camera when there are firmware updates. There won't be a need for this intermediary smartphone app any longer. Your camera will just let you know when there's a new one available. You can confirm that you want to grab it. It'll download straight to your camera and install from there. So pretty cool to get SnapBridge out of that equation, especially since it can be a little finicky connecting to some phones sometimes. So first things first, you need a Nikon account. So go to imagingcloud.nikon.com/home, create an account if you don't already have one. Then once you're logged in, this is the page you're going to see. And you'll see that it says available cameras, no cameras available for use with Nikon Cloud. Well, we're going to fix that and we're going to get a camera added. So the rest of this work is going to be done on our camera for a little bit. So grab a cell phone and grab your camera. On your camera, you need to navigate to the settings menu, go down to the network menu and find Nikon Imaging Cloud. Push right on the D-pad and you're going to get this splash screen basically warning you, hey, if you haven't created your Nikon account, you can scan this QR code to do that now. Otherwise, if you already have created it, just hit OK. That takes you here where we're going to turn on Connect to Nikon Imaging Cloud. Just push right on the D-pad and that's going to toggle it on and give you this next screen, Connection Wizard. You're going to search for your Wi-Fi network and you're going to pick it from the list and enter your Wi-Fi code. After you've successfully connected, you're going to get this screen here, which is prompting you for an access PIN. That was found on the original website that we logged into. We put that PIN in, and then the connection is complete, and we have this new user code and a URL. Grab your cell phone, scan that, and then you will be prompted to click Connect to confirm the connection. And then you have a link to click for Nikon Imaging Cloud Home. Click that. And once you click that, now you are back where you started, but you have your camera registered and it's set up so that basically within this space, you're queuing up commands for the next time your camera connects to Nikon Cloud. So let's use the example of how do we add custom image recipes? Okay, so we're back at the screen where we started. We're going to go down to Imaging Recipes and click that button. Up at the top, you're going to have a bar that says Saved Recipes, Recipes Registered on this camera, and Nikon Recipes. We want to click Nikon Recipes, find a creator that we're interested in, and then click one of their recipes. Once we find a recipe that we like, we're going to hit Add to Saved Recipes. Now in that top bar, we can go back to Saved Recipes, and we have a list of all the recipes that we've saved. Remember, you can have up to 9. You're going to click on one of these recipes, and then you're going to see that there's a checkbox for your cameras. Now, you may have multiple Nikon cameras to choose from, so you're going to pick the camera that you want to queue this recipe to go to the next time this camera connects to Nikon Imaging Cloud. So we only have the one camera here. We're going to pick the ZF. Now I'm going to grab my ZF, and I'm going to connect it to Nikon Imaging Cloud. Once I've got the camera connected to Imaging Cloud, a couple of dots appear over both the camera and the video menus. And that's telling me I've made a change in Imaging Cloud and I've queued up something that applies to these two settings. So what I've obviously done is I've picked a cloud picture control that needs to now be downloaded to the camera. So I'm going to go into the photo menu and I'm going to scroll down to picture controls. Now that I'm in set picture control, I scroll all the way down and there's the yellow dot again. And that's telling me there's something out there that should be pushed to the camera. You can see the plus icon and the cloud download icon. That's going to pull in any changes. So we're going to hit the magnify plus button and that's going to download our picture control that we had just set on the website. After a few moments of downloading, I now have Julia's Hazy Memories picture control on my camera. The yellow dots are gone because we took action on the needed activity, the queued up item from the website, and now the camera's happy. Now all we have to do is go into picture controls the same way we always have and we'll see this new hazy memories has been added to the far right end. Please note that if you're having any issues with these steps, the default behavior of the camera is to only connect to the cloud when it's plugged in via USB. If you go into Nikon Image Cloud and you go to connection options, you'll see this top option only when powered via USB. That defaults to on. If you want to be able to do this wirelessly over a Wi-Fi connection and you don't want to be plugged into USB power, then you can just toggle this off and it will make that connection anytime you go into the menu and tell it to connect. All right, so we've got our imaging recipe set up now. Now we want to set the camera up to do image transfers of those photos to a cloud host of our choosing. So again, from this screen, the far left image transfer option is what we're looking for. So just click that gray image transfer button. Here we're presented with a list of all supported services. I'm going to use OneDrive for illustration since I already have that account and it's set up. So I'm going to click link next to Microsoft OneDrive. A new browser window opens up, and I was already logged into OneDrive, so I don't have to log in, but I do get this warning that says, do you want to let this app access your info? Of course, we're going to have to hit accept for this to work. After I hit accept, I get taken back to Nikon Imaging Cloud, and now you can see Microsoft OneDrive has been updated. I can click send automatically, and then I can choose what type of files I want to send automatically, which is pretty cool. So that way I'm not automatically uploading RAWs, for instance, taking up a bunch of data. So hopefully this helped you learn a little bit more about Nikon Imaging Cloud, what all your ZF can do now. And I really hope it helped you set it up quickly and easily, more quickly than I had set it up on mine. If you like what I'm doing here, as always, please leave a thumbs up, let me know. And, if you want to subscribe, if you want to hang out on the channel, I'm always trying to find content like this to make for you guys, just to make your life easier. And, hopefully talk about photography in a way that's clear, concise, and doesn't waste your time. I do want to thank you guys. We hit 1,000 subscribers yesterday. Big milestone for me. I honestly didn't think that was going to happen for quite a while, but you guys have come through and seem to be enjoying the channel. So thank you to everybody. To the first 1,000 subscribers, you mean the world to me. And to the next 1,000, you're out there somewhere, and I hope you come across this video. As always, take care. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you for watching.